Good evening, everyone. My name is Ness. I will be your guide and storyteller for this evening. It is pretty chilly out. It's about -10 degrees Celsius. It's about 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So we do have extra hats and mitts for you to borrow. My assistant will be coming along shortly to bring you your headlamps and your crampons and show you how to use them. In just a moment, we'll be headed up the trail. It has been sunny all day, so the snow on the trail will be very slippery. We recommend you put your crampons on now. We're going to go up the trail to the Peyto Lake Outlook. We're gaining about 84 meters of elevation. That's about 275 feet over the course of 2.4 kilometers. That's about 1.4 miles. The trail is a loop, so if you happen to get lost, just keep walking in circles and we'll catch you eventually. The outhouses are over here on the left-hand side, and we have about 5 minutes now to make use of those while the rest of us gear up. So meet me right here at the trailhead in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Just to get started, I want to offer a land acknowledgement. Pursuit Collection operates on Treaty 8 territory, and we honor and acknowledge all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people who have called these lands home for thousands of years. Did you know that the Indigenous, specifically in this area, the Cree, had a vast knowledge of cosmology, even deeper than what modern mainstream science understands today? Their holistic knowledge and traditional teachings have answered some of the biggest questions that are still unknown to mainstream science and religion studies. Follow me up the trail, and we'll let the stars be our teachers tonight. Okay, we've made it to the Outlook. I'll ask you now to get situated, and we'll turn off our headlamps and let the stars speak for themselves.
I have a question for you. How did we get here? Does anyone truly know for sure? What if I told you that the ancient Cree astronomers have the answer? The Cree believe that we all come from the stars. From our mainstream science studies, we know that the chemical makeup of our physical bodies is made up of the same chemicals as are found in the stars and space rocks. But the Cree believe that our spirits are beings of light and energy, and a main belief in their culture is that everything is energy, and that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from being to being. That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Does anyone know which modern scientist brought that theory into the spotlight? That's right, that was Albert Einstein who stated that all energy in a system is recycled unless it is added from the outside. With that concept in mind, let me tell you an alternative Genesis story. Long ago, there were beings of light and energy called Kisi-Kukuk. These star people roamed the realities looking for new experiences, new understandings, and new perspectives. The Cree people believe that one of the Kisi-Kukuk, called Star Woman, looked through a hole in the sky and saw the planet Earth. She said, "I want to go to that planet, the one with all the life on it." So she went to Grandmother Spider. Grandmother Spider agreed and wove a single strand of silk to lower her down from the hole in the sky into our reality on our Earth. Other beings followed her to Earth, and the strand of silk, the umbilical cord, is how we all get here and what we all have in common. We are all spirit, and we come here to learn how to be human. And once we learn how to be human, we continue our journey and go somewhere else in this vast cosmos. If you look directly east, do you see those 7 stars in the tight cluster around a hole of darkness? You might recognize those as the Pleiades, but to the Cree, that is Pakone Kesik, the hole in the sky. The Cree astronomers recognize the hole in the sky as a spatial anomaly, a wormhole, a portal to an alternate reality. Mainstream science has yet to observe a wormhole, but their existence was proven from a mathematical perspective earlier in 2021. In this scenario, a wormhole is an extremely curved region in space-time that resembles 2 interconnected funnels and connects 2 distant points in space, like a tunnel, making travel possible. Now is a great time for you to pull out your star maps or star map apps, and let's take a moment to locate the stars and constellations that you're already familiar with. I have a challenge for you. Let's see if you can locate Orion, Polaris, Vega, and Alcor. And if you'll please keep your headlights off, we'll give the stars a chance to tell their stories in their own way. Okay, everyone, you can keep your star maps out. Was everyone able to locate Orion? That's right, find the 3 stars that make up Orion's belt. The Greek myth tells that Orion was a hunter, a giant who boasted that he was able to kill any beast on the planet. The Cree tradition also tells that this constellation is a giant named Wizakijak. You notice how he seems to point to Pakonakisik, the hole in the sky? He represents the connection we have with the cosmos and points the way home. Up next is Vega. Vega was the northern pole star around 12,000 BC and will be so again around the year 13,727 AD. The Cree call Vega Kiski Yakima Achak, which means Great Chief Star or King Star. It controls all other stars and assigns them their roles as ruling spirits for all other beings on Earth. The Cree teach that the King Star controls the force of gravity and causes water to be lifted from the lakes and rivers. He stores it up and later releases it to cause rains and snowfalls. Now let's find our current North Star, Polaris. Look for the constellation Ursa Minor, and the last star at the end of the head of the little bear is Polaris. Currently, Polaris lies nearly in a direct line with Earth's North Pole, so it looks like it stands almost motionless in the sky, and all the other stars rotate around it. The ancient Inuit and Cree astronomers used this star for navigation. In Cree, it is sometimes called Keewatin, which means going home star, or a Kachet Echakos, which means it stands still. The Inuit astronomers called it Nutuitut, which means never moving. Lastly, we're going to find Alcor. If you look straight north, pretty much at eye level, you'll see Ursa Major, or the Big Bear, as it is known in both the Greek and Cree traditions. The second star from the head of the bear is Alcor. We now know that Alcor is a sextuplet star cluster, but in 1617, Galileo used his telescope to observe what looks like a single yet two-toned blinking star to our naked eyes, and saw 2 stars orbiting each other. He called this a binary star. The ancient Cree astronomers were also aware that there is more to this star than meets the naked eye. They described this phenomenon as a white fox chasing a red fox into a single hole. Oh, wow. We are being treated to a special sight. Look north. These are the northern lights, or the aurora borealis. The aurora is the result of disturbances in the magnetosphere caused by the solar wind. Simply put, it's like the sun is burping out electrons into the air. These electrons react with gases in the Earth's atmosphere, which makes them glow. Variations in color are due to the type of gas particles that are colliding. And the aurora doesn't just produce beautiful colors. If you listen carefully, you'll hear that it also makes sounds like claps, crackles, and static noises. There are many indigenous legends about the northern lights all across North America. In this area, the Cree teach that the lights, or Woate, are spirits of the ancestors, celebrating life and reminding us that we are all part of creation. Their dancing forms a pathway for the souls as they travel through the next world. Before we end our journey together, I would like to ask you another question. Does anyone know what happens to us when we die? Mainstream religion gives us a few answers, and the Cree offer another as well. If you look left to the east, just above that mountain peak, can you see the Milky Way? This is what we can see of our home galaxy. The Cree call it Chipahi Meskanau, which means the spirit road. The spirit of a person who dies on Earth ascends into the star world, then dances along this path to the place of eternal happiness, in the west beyond the setting sun. The Inuit people of northern Canada also believe that when we die, we return to the stars. They tell this comforting proverb. Perhaps they are not stars, but rather openings in heaven where the love of our lost ones pours through and shines down upon us to let us know that they are happy.
Do you see now what I mean by the Indigenous had a vast knowledge of the cosmos? Is their holistic knowledge, their traditional teachings that came to them from the stars. The stars were their teachers. When to hunt, when to harvest, how to navigate, retelling the stories of the past, predicting the future, and of course, reminding us of the love of our families. And that will conclude our journey to the stars and begin our journey back to the parking lot. Please take care down the hill. It will be slippery, and I invite you all to the campfire in the parking lot where we will be having hot chocolate and roasting s'mores. I've never said no to a s'more, so I will be attending the campfire and I will be leading the hike down the hill. So if you have any questions, please feel free to approach me and we will have a discussion. In the meantime, I'd like to say thank you very much. This is a new experience for Pursuit Collection, so we also would ask for your feedback. We'll be handing out an optional survey at the campfire, and if you fill it out, you can redeem it for an experience-exclusive treat thanks to our stellar food and beverage team. I'd like to thank you all again for coming. I wish you safe and happy travels. May your stories be the stuff of legend, and I leave you with this to consider. Perhaps they are not stars. I'm gonna get it. What do I say? What do I say? You've heard me do this like 16 times.
You've never made it this far.
What? Yes, I have.
You're excited to go?
I'm not.
The stargazing, the lookout point?
No, that's not it.
We've done all the safety.
We sure did. Oh yeah, the outhouses.